The Sinner, starring Jessica Biel, is a new Netflix original series. It came out a couple of weeks ago to not a lot of fanfare, at least in the UK. Anyway, don't know whether or not there was a lot of news about it in America. And it's an 8-part isolated drama series, meaning there's no scope for a season 2. Or at least I couldn't identify any scope for a season 2, and I hope it doesn't have one. It's about a young woman Jessica Biel, who's at a beach one day with her young child and husband. Seems to be a normal family, and she hears some music, sees a guy on the beach listening to it, and gets up and brutally stabs him to death. The stabbing itself is horrible. It looks like you might imagine a real stabbing would go, and it is jarring to watch, which I think is good because you don't want to sort of glamorise these kind of things. And then from that point onwards, we try and unravel why she did it. There's some past trauma that she's repressed, and the whole series is essentially flashbacks. If Seinfeld's a show about nothing, this is a show about flashbacks, because you get sort of 10-15 minutes in the present day, and then the rest of the episodes are made up of her remembering things that may or may not have happened. You get a resolution at the end of the series, and you get it by episode 7 for the story, so you don't have to sit through hours and hours of story to find out what's going to happen, and they don't tease you with too much. There are red herrings along the way, and you get into thinking that certain things in her childhood and her background may have happened that didn't happen, which is just good writing. But the only problem with the series is it's just too long. There's a character, the detective Bill Pullman, who has some strange subplot about being dominated by prostitutes, and it's just a bit weird. And it turns out that there's a throwaway line at the end to him having some trauma in his childhood, because he's the one that thinks there's more to it than just Jessica Biel freaking out and stabbing someone. But you really didn't need that. And it could have been cut down from 8 episodes to 6, maybe even 5, and it would have still been just as tight and just as good, if not more so, because you know you were getting to a resolution quickly. I don't think it would suit being a movie because you wouldn't have enough time to build the tension, but it's certainly 8 episodes felt just that bit too long. It's worth watching because you know you're going to get a resolution at the end, a bit like with the series Slasher that I talked about previously. I think that's better than this, but this is certainly, for a winter month, just you can put something on it, you know you're going to get a start, a middle and an end point with it, and you know you'll get a satisfying conclusion, and it is a satisfying conclusion. And there's also weird elements. If you like stuff that's got weird shit in it, then this is definitely one to watch.